So today's been a bit of a slower day compared to the first two, but that's kind of part of the process. I've worked on a couple of wee ideas, and I'll give you a wee blast of those. What do I need? Tenor guitar, yeah, and fiddle is here. Go there. So I started off just kind of noodling around on the piano. I'm not a piano player at all, really. I've not really got the kind of autonomy of the two hands, if that's the right word. But I like kind of messing around because it's nice to find interesting chords and sounds. So I just kind of started off with this wee, I don't know, it's just a wee riff. Play a wee bit of the metronome so you can hear in context the sort of rhythm of it. Then I just added a wee left hand part separately, which is okay. Take the metronome away so you can hear it. It's just a wee soft piano sample. And then I was just kind of messing around trying to find a melody that would fit that on the fiddle, and I've totally not settled on this melody, but it's just a sort of start. It'll change as the days go on, but this is sort of rough idea. Where's the fiddle? Interesting. There it is. Okay. Just take the reverb back a bit. So then what I did was I just copied the two parts of the hands, like the separate right hand and left hand, and combined them into, so that's all in MIDI, which is quite easy to do. And then I sent it to a sample of a Celesta, which sounds a bit like this. So this is what it actually sounds like, same as the piano part. And then I added this wee Arpeggiator, which just kind of makes it bounce around in arpeggios, if you've not used those before. So it changes it from that sort of slow pattern into a more rhythmical and nuanced kind of. So it's just to add a bit of different colour to the sound of the track. And then sent that to one of my favourite plugins, which is Native Instruments Replica. It's a sort of modern delay thing. So then the three things combined, the Celesta sample, the Arpeggiator and the Replica, sound like this. which is all well and good, but that's not really what I was wanting. I was just using that as a base to make a kind of ethereal pad, for want of a better description. So what I did then was sent that Celesta through the arpeggiator and delay to a bus. Tell me it's this bus, or have I got rid of it? Oh no, it is that one. And on the bus is this thing, which is called, is it going to work? Spiff, which is to do with, it's basically shaping transients, the transients like the attack of the note. So using the plectrum, the attack of the plectrum is called the transient, or when you hit the snare drum, that first kind of pop. Can't explain it better than that, but you know what I mean anyway. It's that first kind of percussive sound of anything, be that a bow being dragged across the strings, or a plectrum, or a drumstick, or whatever. It's called the transient. So this is a transient shaper, and it basically takes away the sort of click 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 of the Celesta, and gives us this. Work? It's thinking. Let's see how long it'll take to think. Computers. Okay. There we go. Let's come back to life. So, you can still kind of hear the transients because it's playing both tracks at the same time. But what I did then is created a track for the bus and basically bounced down the bus. I'm making it more complicated than I need to, but basically it turned it into this kind of sound. So you've still got all that sort of movement in the Celesta from the arpeggiator and the delay, but that click 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 of the piano keys or the Celesta keys is gone, so you're just left with that sort of ethereal thing, which I quite like, adds a bit of space. And then I just added a sort of stereo widener to that, which moves it out to the side. You can't hear that here, but you will on the end product. And then this little thing, which was recommended to me only a day or two ago by Ewan Burton, is a little cassette machine, so it actually just makes it sort of dirtier and not quite as clean sounding. And then finally, to get rid of some of the shrieky, but there's some frequencies that are sticking out a wee bit. So this is just like an algorithmic EQ, so I don't have to go in and find every single thing that's annoying my ears. It basically does it for you. You can sort of salt to taste how much you want to take those things down, and yeah, that's it. So there's that wee. So it's just a wee sketch just now. I don't know where that's actually going. I didn't spend very long on it. I kind of got a little bit lost, had some lunch, and then came back and started something else. I think that's sometimes what you have to do. You can't always expect things to just kind of happen instantly. So I started on another thing, and it was just basically a little tenor guitar thing I've used since the Neil Gunn record. I've been using this little partial capo. It was back when I didn't know that many chords. I'd only had the tenor guitar for a couple of years, and I was basically always playing in D and just moving the capo around and just finding little kind of melodic lines there. And the partial capo just kind of opened it out a wee bit, because it means I can still play in D here, but I can drop the bass string down, so this is an F. So today I went back to that exact F bass and these strings tuned so I can play in D, and just kind of came up with something new. It goes. it was that. So I recorded that just once. 'Cause it's just a demo just now. It doesn't need to be too accurate or anything. So that's just me kind of noodling and finding a wee idea. It's improvising really, and a lot of the ideas start with that kind of improvised thing. When I kind of looked at it, it turned out that and this was not by design. This is just how it happened to be. But the pattern is it's a bar of 6/4, then 2 bars of 4/4, then a bar of 6/4, and 2 bars of 4/4. So the pattern kind of moves around a wee bit, and then the B part's just kind of straight 4/4. So that's just the way it turned out from the noodling. So yeah, I was working on that, and then I just added. This may not stay the same, but just a wee second more melodic kind of line. Quite a sort of mellow, maybe almost melancholic kind of F minor-y guitar thing. So it's just a start. I've only been working on that for a couple of hours before it was time for the live stream. Since then I started working on, let me just unmute this if I can, just adding a wee fiddle idea. And I've gone and muted it now. If I just do this, I can actually play it for you. So to go along with that dee-do-do-do thing, I just tuned the G down to an F, so it's like an octave above the tenor. I was doing this kind of finger picked. And I just recorded that once because I'm kind of not intending on keeping it as plain as that. I'll show you where the idea has developed, but this is the original recording. I'll turn it up a wee bit so you can hear the fiddles a bit. Here's the metronome, so you can hear it's just one take, it's not perfectly in time. Around a wee bit. So just because I was trying to make this into something that sounds new, I used Logic's time and pitch machine, flex time or flex pitch, and just quantized that to 1/8 notes. So now it should be bang on. So you can hear it doesn't push and pull against the metronome anymore. It's much more kind of robotic. Then what I did was bounce that down and ran it through an instance of Melodyne, which is another sort of standalone time and pitch thing. Pretty much used on every vocal recording ever, especially pop music these days. And I basically just used that and moved the whole fiddle part down and up into different harmony parts. So I've ended up with the original and then 3 harmony parts. So here's the original in time, unpitched. Take away the click. And here's another one. The harmony. Here's the lower one. And then a really high one to give a kind of wee twinkly top line. So you can hear it starts to sound quite weird and unnatural. And then what I did was I set those 4 parts to a sort of ethereal reverb, so you can now hear with the reverb on. Sort of opens out the top end and gives it loads of air. You'll hear the tail when I press stop, the reverb tail. And then I sent it to a delay, which basically just, well, you'll hear. does this. So that's kind of sound design, just using this one fiddle line and making it into this almost synthy sounding bloopy, bleepy machine sounding thing. And that's just as an idea. It may not even stay, but it's just fun to try these things out. And then it kind of goes along with the two guitars as such. So that's it, 2 little ideas today, neither particularly developed. Whether they end up on the record or not, I don't know yet. Just depends what else comes out over the next few days. But just yeah, that's kind of how the work goes. So I guess I've spent about 3 hours at it today. I'll maybe do a little bit more after dinner, either with these or with something else. But yeah, I'm enjoying being back writing. It's been, I think the last time I wrote anything was February, well, apart from one wee thing. So yeah, it's good. Thanks for joining me on the live streams. I've still not got the phone out to look if there's any questions. Sorry about that. I'll maybe try and do it tomorrow. But yeah, subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's Bandcamp Friday. Buy a CD today if you like. Decemberwell is on, original Decemberwell is on sale over there. And I'll be back same time-ish tomorrow. And that's it. Right, cheerio.